Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. You are at hayfroSELLS, and we are going to start the day off on a positive note. It's about feedback. I got, as a seller, I'm sure you can relate to this. Sometimes you just get a feedback, and it's just like, it's so good, right? It reminds you why you love what you're doing. And after this, we're going to do some what sold. I've got a few things I want to talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to start off and read this feedback because I just, so many times when you have a YouTube channel, it's like whenever you're talking about feedback, it's always us complaining about somebody who left this negative feedback. And yes, it can ruin our day. Yes, it can ruin a little bit longer of our day. But yeah, so I'm going to read this to you. And this was just so basically this was a scenario where I had a group of comics listed, and it's for Danger Girl, and there are all these different miniseries, and he was just interested in like one specific miniseries, and he messaged me, he's like, hey, would you break it up? And I'll do just about anything to make a buck right now. And after I read this, I didn't do anything special with this order. I didn't pack it any special than I normally do. I didn't provide what I would consider exceptional customer service, just because it's the same that I do for every customer. So it got me thinking, like, are people having such bad experiences out there as a buyer on eBay that when they get what I would consider average customer service, that they view it as being so amazing? So with that in mind, here's the feedback. Beyond the exceptional service and product, I want to express my admiration for your professionalism and integrity. Your transparent communication, swift shipping, yes, I did do that, and willingness to address any concerns or queries exemplifies the qualities of a true, remarkable seller. I hear music in my head. It is clear that you genuinely care about your customer satisfaction. I do. And strive to create a positive experience for each one of us. Of course I do. But, sometimes feedback can really make your day. So, with that being said, we did have 7 sales today, six on eBay, 1 offline. I did take a picture of it and put it in the feed. The one offline was a coffee cup, kind of similar situation. It was part of a lot that I had on eBay and locally, and they just wanted one. And I knew that the dialogue back and forth from the buyer, I knew she was buying it to replace one that she broke of her boyfriend's, or I knew that it was a gift for her boyfriend. I knew it was one of the two, and sure enough, that's actually what it was. So I sold that for $15. I sold another one of these posters. I've already packaged it up. It's the same Spud McKenzie Declaration of Independence one. Sold that one for $18.45. I sold this. I showed you. I'm pretty sure I showed you some of these things that I got at the Comic-Con, the last one I went to. I paid $7 or $8 for this. I sold this for $40, and it's got a cool sketch inside it. And I believe this particular trade paperback is out of print. And the guy who does this, it's not really showing the detailed art, but he is phenomenal. So again, this sold for $40 and a half. And I do have an offer coming in right now. I do have an offer coming in. I am going to accept it. This is somebody that I've been communicating with. This is for 3 VHS, right? VHS. I was all in on these for $3, and I got an offer for $35. So I am going to accept that. That's for that store. I sold this Futurama comic. I do really well. If you ever see any Futurama comics, especially in really good shape, they sell really, really well. They have a really big cult following. This sold for $27. The guy who does a lot of the drawings for this lives locally, so I see him all the time. I can't remember his name right now. Super cool guy, by the way. He always does like little sketches. I'm actually surprised this one doesn't have a sketch on it, but sometimes I feel bad because I've gotten so many sketches from him in the past. Let's see here, what else has sold? Because some of these things I've already packaged up. The Star Blazer, the little mini comic that I showed yesterday that sold for like somewhere around $14 or $15. The buyer ended up adding another one, another Star Blazer, and this one sold for $18.40. So, you know, anytime you can basically almost double the total for the sale, and I'm not doing any more extra work when it comes to, you know, whether I'm packaging one little mini magazine or whether I'm doing two. It's the same amount of work. So I love that. I was hoping he would add more. And then I did a little, it's not a short because it wasn't, maybe it was a short. Anyhow, I sold, this is just a greeting card. I believe it's from 1975. I don't know if you're really gonna get to see this. It's got like Celtic designs in it. I wanna talk about this for a minute or so. It's by Jim Fitzpatrick. It's just stunning. The artwork on it is stunning. And it was new, it was still sealed. I don't even think maybe I paid 50 cents for this thing. But it's things like this that defines me as a reseller in terms of like the passion that I have. I'd never heard of this artist. And there are kind of like a line of these. There's like, I remember when I looked it up, there were like a couple other cards, very similar. But most people, 100 people walk into this thrift store, unless they're buying it for themselves, I guarantee you not one of them looks at this and thinks, this is something that I can resell. And thinks this is something that I can resell for a significant premium. And to me, that is what, it's just a trait of a reseller, is the ability to see value in things that nobody else sees. Like anybody can go into a thrift store and find whatever hot clothing or hot shoes that everybody knows has an amazing sell-through rate. That's just luck, walking in there and finding that, in my opinion. But it's the unknown sources. It's the things that nobody knows about. That sold for $27 for a card. Like, that's just amazing. I get so much joy out of selling items like that. Now, I'm being punished, I think, for selling things like this right now with eBay. I have no idea how I really even had any sales today based on, if you're looking at my promoted listings, impressions, and my organic impressions, like they're like nothing. I don't know. Maybe what we're seeing isn't really accurate. I don't know. I'm probably going to call eBay tomorrow. I'm not really going to talk about this because I'm actually moving past this. Like it seems like every few years, eBay does this colossal mess up thing, and then eventually it just works itself out. So I'm really trying not to give that much energy to it right now. I did my rant. I appreciate everybody that have commented on that. I'll continue to update you on what I do, what I find out. I actually dropped my promoted listings on my store back down to 2% because why do I want to give them anything? Like I only do 2% just so I'm keeping my store an active store, but I don't know, I might end up going down to nothing. I sold a button. It's a Lil Watt Prisoners of Democracy button. I don't know what that is. I believe it's a protest thing that sold for 11 and a half. You know what? I've been selling a lot of buttons and pins lately, and I still got tons to list. They're another thing that is just a joy for me to sell. I don't know. They're easy to ship. They're easy to list. You don't have to really, I don't really think there's anything out there you're going to get a Vero over. The gentleman from Australia, the anthology, the foreign, I believe it was a Japanese, it was a Japanese anthology book I showed you guys yesterday. He did buy it. So he paid like 18 and a half or 19, basically almost $19 for that book, and then he paid $15 to have it shipped to him. I made a little bit of money on the shipping, but as I said, I always bake a little bit of profit in on the shipping when I'm shipping internationally, because there's always a risk that something bad is going to happen. And I'm sure what I charge is still probably 25 to 35% cheaper than what eBay would have charged. And why does eBay get to keep all that money? I would rather. And honestly, I think I've had basically the same amount of international sales that I was kind of averaging each week since I went off the international program. So I don't really see any advantage to being on it. So I think that's all my sales. Like I said, I did do some thrifting today. I bought some art. I bought some sealed cassettes. I bought some really, really cool old vintage self-defense VHS. I have no idea if there's value there. It was super cheap, and it was awesome. It was really cool looking. I'm gonna lot some of it up, see what happens. And I think we're kidding ourselves as sellers if we think we don't need eBay. We do need eBay. At least I need eBay, because I'm more than happy to list what I can locally. But there are things that you can sell locally, and there are things that you cannot sell locally if you want to get a premium. And like I said, I really, really enjoy selling really obscure stuff. And if you want to get a premium, you have to use some sort of online platform to do that. Tomorrow, speaking of local selling and this and that, as of right now, and I don't really often talk about what I might sell the next day, but I know things are going to move kind of fast, so I kind of wanted to talk about them right now, because right now I have about $140 lined up between 3 items. A pair of Nike shoes that I've been speaking with this person. They're gonna, for the last couple of days, so it seems like that's gonna go through. The CK watch. I'm showing you this, like I said, because I'm not going to be able to show you guys, because I'm actually going to my daughter's tomorrow. I got a busy day in the afternoon, and then we're going up, and this person actually lives close to my daughter, so I'm actually delivering it because it's literally on the way. So I paid $1 for, actually like 75 cents for this at a garage sale. Selling it for 18. I don't want to list it on, I did not want to list it on eBay because I didn't know, A, I didn't know if it worked, and B, I don't know if it's authentic. I mean, I don't really think CK is a brand that is like often counterfeited, but at this same garage sale, I bought this Gucci teddy bear, paid $1 for it, and it had I can't even remember, I mean, I can't think of how to describe it. It had like a quilt that had like squares. It was kind of like a quilted look, and I don't think it was authentic, so I couldn't sell it on eBay, so I sold it locally. And if it would have been authentic, it would have been like $150 or $200 teddy bear. I ended up getting $65 out of it because it looked pretty authentic. I mean, it looked just the same, but I don't think it was real. The woman at the garage sale, I always try to ask the origin of things. Even I sometimes forget. But it's always good to know where things come from. And she said her aunt used to clean houses for like these really, really rich people. And it was a gift to her, basically their maid. And you know, one could be like, well, maybe they have so much money and they don't care. Maybe it was authentic, or maybe it was a knockoff, and that's why they gave it to her. So the guy that I ended up selling it to, this was like a year ago, he was super happy. So it was win-win. Yeah. So let's see here. I think that's, and I have a Nike, like an oversized. So the watch is for 18 tomorrow. The shoes are 80 or 85, I can't remember. And then I have an oversized Nike duffel bag that was my daughter's that she got for playing provincial basketball, and she never really used it. It's old, it's older, but it's practically brand new. I tried listing it on Marketplace and they flagged it. Marketplace is the worst. So it's been on Craigslist for a while. So I think I'm going to get $35 out of that. So like 135, almost like $135 right now in sales. It looks like they're going to go down tomorrow. And then I just wanted to show you guys this. I bought this yesterday for a quarter. It's like a black cat 8-ball. And then when the things come up, they're all like cat related. IKNEAD, I need you. It looks like this is going to sell for $10 locally. The girl's going to come on Wednesday and pick it up. I was originally going to give this to my daughter, adult daughter, by the way. She's so she doesn't really need it, but she has 3 black cats. But I was like, you know what? Let me just see. And her and her partner, they live in a small place, so they don't really need more stuff. I'm like, I'm just going to throw it up on Marketplace and see what happens. And within one day, somebody responded. Actually, 2 people responded for this thing. Yeah, so it looks like one way or the other, this is probably going to sell for $10. So, which I thought was hilarious. Which actually, I need to remember. Did I put this up on eBay? I should probably check as soon as I get off the phone, off the video. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. 7 sales, 160-ish. Like I said, based on my based on my impressions, I'm surprised I got any sales today. But I'm just going to keep listing. In my mind, I'm just going to try to win this war by volume. Just sheer volume, having unique items, sending offers, upselling customers, sending my other selling platforms. Like, I think I'm gonna have to like get a printout, and I actually checked with eBay if we were allowed to do this. Once you make a sale, you can include your other platforms inside the package. There is no rule that says you can't do that. Basically, how I found this out was when eBay came and said that we could no longer sell like basically nudity or anything sexually explicit inside comics and graphic novels. I had to find a way to sell the stuff that I had, and I basically use another website that's devoted to comics, and they don't have any rules. So I wanted to know if when I sold a comic on eBay, if I can include a link to that website inside there, and if that was going to violate any rules. Because I didn't want to do that, and then, you know, what we do, it is inevitable. We can do everything right as resellers, and we're still going to run into a nightmare customer. And I didn't want them to have leverage on me that that they could be like, oh, well, I'm going to tell eBay that you included this sheet of paper in here with promoting another website that's not eBay. It doesn't matter. You are allowed to do that. So I'm going to try to develop relationships with my customers and try to get repeat business that way going forward as well. I'm just brainstorming, and I'm trying everything, because we can't rely on eBay, but we still do need them, if that makes sense. And as unfortunate as that is, or at least I can't speak for you, but I need them. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign off here. I think I've rambled enough. Thanks for listening. I hope you're still here, and if you are, please feed the YouTube algo. You know what to do. All right, guys, bye.